So, oh, auf einmal bin ich Stufe 35. Wie ist das passiert? Der Bug. Ich weiß nicht, woher er kam. Ich musste, weiß nicht, ein bisschen hin und her schieben, bestätigen, zurücksetzen, lalala. Und dann hatte ich plötzlich, war ich Stufe 18, aber hatte noch keine Sachen verteilt. Und dann habe ich natürlich alles wieder verteilt. Jetzt bin ich einfach mal Stufe 35. Wie schön. Ich bestätige und schlafe. Okay, sie hat eine Erkältung, er hat eine Erkältung. Ja, aber noch zu lange draußen rum. Also immer noch stabil, sehr gut. Ach, sie war die Stütze. Natürlich. Richard Nethercott, wo finde ich den nochmal auf dem... Steht immer noch hinter der Kirche wahrscheinlich, ne? Ja, sie war die Stütze. Boah, das hätte was gegeben. So, jetzt bin ich auf jeden Fall schön stark. Und ich kann, glaube ich, auch noch eine Waffe machen. Ich rieche darin eine Erkältung. Mach mal ein paar, ich will so viel Zeug. Mal alles heilen, mitnehmen, so. Weil hier manchmal 3 von jedem. So, Waffen. Jetzt hätte ich gerne den Schockstab aufgebessert. 3 zusätzliche Schockpunkte. Teil eines guten Griffs 6. Kleiner Teil eines guten Griffs. Gut, ich gehe rüber. So, habe ich noch hier die Bullets aufladen. So, verlassen. Stufe 35 bin ich jetzt einfach, wow. Das ist, weiß nicht. Das hat das Spiel jetzt ein bisschen kaputt gemacht, aber gut. Die Story sollte ja wohl noch spielbar sein.
If you don't, I'd be delighted to help you if I'm able.
Ups. Das Betreten der Kirche
What
ist schwierig.
exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned, quite violently as it happened, lurking about, attacked Miss Jones. To say he created quite a commotion would be an understatement.
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
There was blood everywhere, but no body. And you know the state she was in.
Oha, wenn da die
I fear for
Prison
what he
dahinter
did with
steckt.
her. Hopefully he just hid the corpse.
How did the guard at Prewin come to hear of this?
McCullum has spies everywhere. He will jump at any opportunity to disparage the Brotherhood and show his contempt.
Oh, oh.
I recently tried to enter a church. It has been a very unpleasant experience.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith and vampirism has proved somewhat insubstantial, to say the least.
It's hard to explain in terms of science, that's for sure.
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have far greater insight into this matter than little old me.
Is this proof that I'm cursed in the eyes of the divine?
The wrath of the Almighty? There's no way of knowing. It could be subconscious guilt, or irrational fear, or deep-seated beliefs.
Back.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a skull. London's streets are overflowing with them these days.
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure. He was large and very fast.
If you find anything more about this creature, the Brotherhood would greatly appreciate any information you
Klar.
could spare.
Ich setze mich ruhig mit
He
dem
was
zum Tee
observing
irgendwo
me
hin und
with
dann
the obvious
plaudern wir
intent to
eine
do me
Runde.
harm. His very presence evoked a palpable sense of menace.
You need to be careful, Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
Who was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCullum, actual leader of the Guard of Prewen. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this old and dusty society.
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I understand your need for blood and will not get in your way. But if you could refrain from feeding within these walls, it would go a long way to defending your case.
Thank you, Edgar.
Okay, bye bye. So, 2 erkältete Individuen habe ich hier. Wo ist denn Pippa, Pippa, Pippa? Läuft irgendwo draußen rum. Da.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Wo waren die beiden denn schon wieder?
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reed.
Not under my watch, Nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
So, wo ist dein Friend hier? Handel.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
Nichts Neues. Wahrscheinlich kriegt er ja auch nichts anderes. Ist ja ein Anfänger. Anfänger-NPC. So, da ist der nächste mit Erkältung. Komm mal her. Süßer.
Hello again, Mr.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you
F-E.
need medical attention, sir?
Afraid so. In the war, I was always worried about picking up something, getting some infection. Unfortunately, got that fear in London now.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage.
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you?
So, persönliche Fragen. Was ist da noch? Nix, ne? So.
Goodbye.
Das hätten wir schon wieder. Das sieht mit den Aufgaben aus. Nix, noch nix, nix. Der hat eine Erkältung. Gehe ich da am besten vorbei? Ich muss eh dahin, ne? Ich habe einiges verloren, ey. Give me your loot, please.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top! Christ!
Mache ich so viel Schaden? Ich dürfte doch eigentlich nicht. Was mit ihm? Die Säge habe ich doch noch nicht verbessert. Da habe ich einfach einen Bonus, weil die so weit unter mir sind jetzt. Ah, das ganze Spiel ist kaputt. Schön.
Good evening,
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It appears the dispensary is now a major source of contagion in Whitechapel. Someone should do something about it, but no one cares.
Ihr habt schon dafür gesorgt, dass es
Goodbye.
aufhört. Du bist mal wieder zu langsam. Falsch. Knock, knock, knock. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
F.E.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more...
So.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Not at all, sir.
Ah, stimmt, mit der Stummen kann ich mal reden. Oh.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches...
Das habe ich doch schon mal beim... komisch. Ich habe
I'll
schon mal
leave-
gesagt. Weg. Ist gesund und stark.
Hello again, miss. Tell me, Camellia, how are things now the dispensary is closed?
Ah, sie ist
Very
so
well.
ein Troll. Das ist so schön. So, davor noch zum Händler. Griff holen. 2 Griffe. Griff. Na, kann ich auch mal gucken, wenn ich andere Waffen upgrade. Im Moment sind die ja ganz okay, die ich habe. Oder mehr als okay sogar. Ach, ich habe die Schrotflinte wieder nicht gekauft. Ja, handeln. Ah, er hat wieder 2. So, und wo ist hier der Unterschlupf? Muss ich kurz zurück und rechts rum. Was ist hier? Die
Hello,
Fischbank.
young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Moment mal. Ich werde natürlich erstmal geklaut, aber
Even my dreams are so blue.
It's locked.
It's locked.
War ja klar. Absagebrief. Sehr geehrter Mr. Patterson, es ist leider meine Pflicht, Sie darauf in Kenntnis zu setzen, dass wir Ihre Bewerbung für die Stelle in der Werft ablehnen müssen. Ich danke Ihnen dafür, dass Sie uns im Gespräch die Schwierigkeit Ihrer Lage mit Ihrem kranken Sohn und Ihrer verstorbenen Gattin erläutert haben. Es ist jedoch ein ausdrücklicher Teil unserer Familienpolitik, keine ehemaligen Verbrecher oder Häftlinge anzustellen. Ihre unseligen Verbindungen zu den berüchtigten Wet Booty Boys wurden ordnungsgemäß berücksichtigt. Dies sind schwere Zeiten, Sir, und Finch und Harper berücksichtigen zuerst jene Bewerber, die unseren flüchtigen Nachforschungen über unsere zukünftigen Mitarbeiter genügen. Sie haben ein tief empfundenes Mitgefühl. Möge Gott Ihnen und Ihrer Familie gnädig sein. Hochachtungsvoll, Adi Harper. Joey Patterson. Gut. Leider in Blutarmut, dann lass mich da
Is there
durch.
only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Have you any recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Nobody dares to enter the dispensary now. Rumours say the nurse has gone mad.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family? To your mother?
Not really. I was too young. But I remember it was a happier time. Mr. Lewis was funny. He often had dinner with us.
Why are you sad then?
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father used to laugh and smile. It hurts to realise he's as sad as me now.
How was he towards you?
He was nice, I guess. He never forgot my birthday. He always offered me books. I liked books.
I like books.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Goodbye, young.
So sind die alle drauf, ja.
Even
Jetzt
my
eigentlich auch
dreams
immer
are
ich bin diese
soaked with
Frau
gloom.
Fischbahn oder wie sie heißt. So, ihr mit euch beiden.
You never... What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Goodbye for now.
So, wo ist der andere hin?
I know it's hard to
Ist
believe.
wieder in Luft aufgelöst.
You again?
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I saw her wandering the streets. Yesterday, I think. She didn't recognize me. People say she's lost it.
Okay.
Sad story.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else. Whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Tja,
Goodbye.
das ist sehr festgefahren, ne? So einen kleinen Halsabschneider. Die Olle. Muss ich hier einmal rum, glaube ich. Ach, fuck, ne.
Answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Good evening, Ben.
I'm afraid.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper.
The Swan
Alle.
cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
Nee, scheiße. Da? Ach, guck mal, sieh's. Halt.
Good evening, Xiaoshu.
Wang Shanghao, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you again.
Yes, haben wir neue Sachen?
What are you doing with your time now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reed. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
Eine ganz tolle Frau.
Why don't you move to a better neighborhood?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the same empty home every day still hurts me a lot.
Why stay here then?
I am a woman of habit, Dr. Reed. And for now I am happier being useful in a familiar place than I would be anywhere else.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew. Without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
Do be careful. These streets can be as dangerous as that terrible place where we first met.
That's true. And maybe it's the best reason to help people around here.
Okay. Ich habe gedacht, dass das trifft, aber gut.
Good evening,
Ach, ich habe F gedrückt anstatt D. Ach, wisst ihr, aber wo war denn... Oder war der bei den Dogs? Nee. Oder doch? Ich bin gerade ein bisschen verwirrt mal wieder. Das war bei den Dogs. Stella Fishburne. Okay, da muss ich ja eh hin, ne? Ich kann noch mal kurz gucken. Wegen den Untersuchungen. Finde jemanden in Blindschrift hat. Das funktioniert irgendwie nicht. Ja, ab zu den Dogs. Komme ich da durch? Oh ne, sollte ich vielleicht nicht durch. Einmal schnell zum Krankenhaus. Ist ja eigentlich ein Max-Level? Guten Tag. Ich war nicht im Versteck. Fällt mir gerade so auf.